Hi there, this video is taken from my online course, The Ultimate Guide to Google Data Studio. It's normally a paid course, but I decided to publish it here for free and let the YouTube advertisers pay for it for you. So when you see ads pop up, that's what's happening. If you get value out of the course, you can help the channel by using any of the links in the description to products and services I recommend. I've also added a PayPal donation link. Now, I'll only be releasing the whole course if we can get enough views and likes, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thanks and enjoy the course. Hello and a very warm welcome to your new course, The Ultimate Guide to Google Data Studio. My name is Adam Finer and I will be your teacher. I am super excited to have you with me and to share some of my many years worth of experience with you. More about me in a minute, but first I'd just like to say congratulations for taking the positive first step to learning this new skill. Whatever your reasons are for taking this course, whether it's to learn how to analyze and visualize your business's data, or whether it's simply to add a new skill to your resume, you've made a great choice and come to the right place to achieve your goals. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. During this course, you'll not only learn how to get started and eventually become highly proficient in using Google Data Studio, but also I'll be teaching you a lot about business intelligence, or BI, in general. If you're not familiar with what that is, I've added a link in the notes to a video on my YouTube channel that will explain everything. Essentially though, it's the process of harnessing the data a business produces in all of its different activities, then analysing and visualising it in order to gain useful insights and make smarter business decisions. Google Data Studio is basically a BI tool that allows you to manage that process. I just mentioned my YouTube channel, which is all about BI for beginners and is a great add-on resource to this course. So please do subscribe if that's something you're interested in learning even more about. A bit more about me. So I've been working with data for around 25 years now in different industries. I started in market research and have been in business intelligence now for about the past 10 years and learned quite a lot along the way, as you can imagine. Before setting up on my own, I was the lead consultant and trainer for a software developer who built a cloud or SaaS BI tool. We were eventually bought out by a company called Zendesk, and I ended up building and executing training programs for their staff at their head office in San Francisco. Basically, my two main skills are business intelligence and teaching, which is essentially why I created this course. To not only teach you how to use a BI tool like Data Studio, but also to add some much needed context to what you're learning by explaining things in relation to concrete examples and real use cases. Basically, you'll be learning not only the what and how, but also the why. So not only how to create great looking dashboards in Data Studio, but also the psychology and theory behind data visualization. That's why I've named this course the Ultimate Guide. Bold claim perhaps, but by the time you finish this course, I'm pretty sure you'll agree. That's it for this introduction, and I'll see you in the next lesson when we'll be going over the course outline. I'll see you there. Welcome back. In this video, I'll be explaining the journey that we'll be taking together on this course by breaking down the course's modules and explaining why I've structured it in the way I have. Okay, so first the course outline. There are 10 modules or chapters in total, starting with this one we're in now, introducing you to the course and the Data Studio interface. In module 2, we're going to start talking about data. Not only going over the types of data that Data Studio connects to and how to create and manage data sources, but also talking about data in general, what it's made up of, how it should be structured, that kind of thing. Module 3 is when we start getting down to building our first visualizations. I'll be going over every visualization type, the charts, graphs and tables, and showing you how to build the queries behind them. In Module 4, we'll be looking at the different methods we can use to filter and sort data in visualizations to hone in on the data you want to present. Module 5 will cover aggregators and results calculations. So basically the different ways you can aggregate and manipulate the results of your queries. Module 6 will introduce you to custom calculations. You'll learn how to use functions to write formulas and add new calculated fields to your data sources. In Module 7, you'll learn about Data Studio's Explorer functionality, which helps you with data discovery, and also how to make your reports more efficient by using the Extract Data connector. Then in Module 8, we'll build our first report and learn all about data visualization and dashboard design. In Module 10, you'll learn how to blend or join data sources together and the theory behind it. Then finally, in Module 10, we'll look at how to share Data Studio assets, not only reports but also data sources, so how you can collaborate with other users on your projects. Overall, a very complete course. You'll learn everything you need to know in order to become more than proficient in Data Studio. So why have I structured the course in this way? Well, I've taken a very methodical approach that's aimed at introducing you to the different aspects of Data Studio as and when needed. I've seen other courses that jump straight into building reports, probably because that's the most fun part. But the problem with this is that you end up jumping all over the place, back and forth, trying to fill in the gaps and explain what you learned previously. Kind of like a jigsaw. Whereas this course is more like building blocks, giving you solid foundations and building up from there. Data Studio is a business intelligence tool, and business intelligence has different disciplines: data management, data analysis, data visualization, etc. For me, it's important to approach these separately, one by one, in the order in which makes the most sense. You can't build dashboards if you don't know how to build data queries. And you can't build data queries unless you understand the different components of your data. How to correctly structure a data source and then how to connect it to Data Studio. In my opinion, context is king when it comes to learning. The more context you have, the faster you learn and understand. So I try and give as much context as possible in whatever I'm teaching. In terms of course resources, wherever possible or necessary, I'll add PDFs containing general notes for each lesson to use as a reference. You'll also have access to different dummy and real-world data sources for you to be able to follow along. I want to make the learning process as easy as possible for you. I'll also be updating the course regularly, as and when Google adds new functionality to the tool. So you'll always be up to date with the latest developments. And don't forget, if you have any questions on any of the lessons, there's a Q&A section where you can add your question. Right, so now you know what's in store, let's get started and I'll see you in the next lesson. Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to take our first look at the Data Studio interface, what you see once you've created your account and logged in for the first time. You'll be prompted by Google to accept and agree to certain terms and conditions of use, but it's all very quick and painless. As you can see, the homepage is quite simple and there's not much to it. Data Studio is essentially split up into three main sections that can be accessed via these buttons here. You have Reports, Data Sources, and Explorer. Starting off with Reports. Now these are your dashboards that will contain your data visualizations, charts and graphs, etc. You can create a new blank report by clicking the plus button here, or depending on the data source you'll be working with, you can use one of the pre-canned dashboards that Google offers. But the caveat here is that most of these are data specific, meaning that they're only really useful if you're working with the type of data that they were built for. So Google Analytics, Search Console, Google Ads, YouTube, etc., as you can see written here. You also have a tutorial report and a Google Sheets report. However, in my opinion, that's not very useful because the data in your Google Sheet is going to be different. So it's really only useful to give you some inspiration as an example of what's possible when building your reports. So there's no harm in taking a look at them. Once you create a new report, it will appear in the list down here. Next up, you have data sources. Our data sources are what we load and connect to in order to create our data visualizations. We'll take a look in a lesson coming up at the different types of data that you can connect to. But for now, just know that this is where your data sources will live and all be accessible from. Then you have Explorer. Now, this is essentially a place where you can play around with your data sources independently from any report that you might be working on. I won't go into any more detail than that for now, we'll discover it properly later. Just to let you know, at this point, this is where you'll find a list of all your data queries that you've created in Explorer. Finally, on the left here, you have the ability to filter all of the elements in your account, reports, data sources and Explorer by recent, those elements that have been created by other Data Studio users and shared with you, those that you have created, and then those that you've deleted. Anything that you do delete will remain in the bin and can be recovered whenever you like. But by going into the bin, you can permanently delete anything from there if you so wish. You've also got this button here which allows you to create a new report, data source or Explorer. And if at any point you want to return to this home screen, you just click on this Data Studio icon here at the top left. And that's it, your first look at the Data Studio interface. Very straightforward. We'll be discovering other parts of it when we start working with data and building reports. And that brings us to the end of this first introduction module. Coming up in module 2, we're going to start talking data. So I'll leave you there. Thanks for watching. A link to the next video in the course is in the description. But if it's not there, it means we didn't hit our views and likes target for this video. So don't forget to hit that like button. There's also a link for you to get your hands on the course resources. If you're getting value from this course and you'd like to support the channel, please do use the links in the description to products and services I personally recommend. Or there's a PayPal donation button. If you've got any comments or questions, please do leave them below. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.